It's always sunny in Philadelphia. It's a little bit cloudy today, and it's very cold because it's November 21st, 2021. And we're here with the Philadelphia Eagles, SVG's Kristian Hernández here at Lincoln Financial Field. Here with two individuals from the Eagles that I know very well. We have to my right, VP of Content Production, Eric Long. And to my left, broadcast and Navy Engineer David Sullivan. Guys, thank you for having me. Eric, we'll start with you first. How are you doing this year?
Doing great. First of all, happy to have you here, Kristian. Thanks for visiting with us. But life is good. We're making our way through. Good to have fans back in the building. And, you know, at this point, compared to where we were last year, I think I'll take this for sure.
Right. 0 to 100 real quick. David, same question for you. How are you doing this year?
You know, I think we're settling back into a rhythm. Certainly last year, just throw out the script, redefine what our jobs are and how we do it with or without people. And I think now, this far along in the season, I think we've figured out what we're doing this year. Right. And copy, paste, change the names.
Right, a little bit back to normal, thankfully. We'll get to the technologies in just a second. Eric, we'll start with you. New piece of content this year. What kind of production elements you're playing in this venue behind us? A lot has changed since last year when we talked in October. It's just like, not a lot of fans are here. We can't really do much. But now that fans are back, what are you playing on the video board and kind of the game day atmosphere?
Yeah, so I mean, it was nice to have the ability to do an actual media day with our players this year. So we were able to get a lot of really great content. Able to do a whole new open video, which, you know, last year, honestly, we didn't really even mess with it because without having fans in the stands, you know, for most of our games, it wasn't really worth the lift. And frankly, the social distancing and the tier requirements and all of that kind of prohibited us to do much anyway. So it took a lot of time to kind of look through our elements again and try to revamp the show, make sure it was a fresh experience, especially knowing we'd have fans, you know, back this year. So, you know, a lot of the same traditions, though, are still back. Our Rocky kickoff video, which is a fan favorite, and, you know, our tunnel walk, which has become a great experience, and Fly Eagles Fly, you know, is one of the great fight songs in the league. So, you know, a lot of staples, but then, you know, new takes on some other things to kind of keep it fresh and feel really good about where we're at right now.
Right. A lot has changed, but also a lot has stayed the same. Eagles, a team that is steeped in tradition, so you got to have those staples. Absolutely. So awesome to have them here this year. David, on your side of things, technology has changed because of cloud-based workflows and remote workflows, but also some things new in the control room. Take us down the list of kind of the improvements that you're rolling with this year.
Yeah, I feel like every year something's new, right? It's hard to stay the same. This year we switched from 1080i to 1080p, a big move for us, something we'd been hoping to do, you know, right before COVID and delayed a little bit. So 1080p, standard dynamic range, but HDR ready. So we could flip it on tomorrow, but quite honestly, on the content and acquisition side, we've got some things to work through. So 1080p has been fun, certainly learned a lot in the process, and really excited about where that takes us in the future. And our replays, quite honestly, just look better. Right. It's fun to be 1080p 60, and that's what our live show is. It's even better that our replays with Evert Streamcatcher have all been reconfigured. So most of those cameras are 1080p 120, and some of them are 180. So we've got a lot of modes, if you will, and those looks are really impressive. So 1080p and all of those frames have been kind of the project of the year, and it's been fun to see that come to fruition.
Right, always trying to keep that control room future-proof, ready to roll, because when things start coming out, it's not like you're going to be playing behind the 8-ball. You want to be ready at the front of it. So kudos to you guys on the tech side. Eric, we're going to go back to you. I feel like I'm just playing ping pong here. Kind of things like off of what he was saying, a lot of things have changed because of COVID. What kind of has stayed and what kind of, you're using it in a different way this year than last year. Kind of take us through what is staying and how you're using it in a different way.
Yeah, so I mean, one thing that we're really excited about is being able to have our entire game day staff back here in person with us. Fortunately, last year we were actually able to keep the majority of our workforce on throughout the year. For things like, you know, replays for home field advantage, things like that. Even though there weren't fans, it was still a really important part of our show. But having everybody back here, having our full crew at NovaCare that supports us with all of our digital programming on game days, that stuff is all, you know, kind of returned to normal, so to speak. But what's kind of cool is some of the things that we've learned from, you know, needing to be able to do remote workflows and the ways that we can interview people throughout the week that aren't here. You know, when we have alumni that are coming back, it's not a difficult exercise to try to get them to do a virtual interview now. I think we're at a point where the world kind of understands how to use Zoom and how to use FaceTime and things like that. So, you know, kind of been able to take the best of those elements and continue to use it in our workflow. And then, you know, still whenever we have the opportunities to do things kind of in person or in a more traditional way, absolutely like to take advantage of that. But it's a little bit of, you know, the mix of the old and the new, and hopefully as a result we end up better all around.
Right. The one thing you don't have to worry about if someone's in person, you got to say, hey, you're on mute, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing to me. I still am completely guilty of that, you know, at least once a week. So,
right.
Yeah.
Eric, we'll ask you this question and then we'll flip over to David. It's around 11:15, 11:30, so kickoff is at 1. Take us to what a game day routine is like for Eric Long. When you started and woke up, I guess had a cup of coffee or whatnot, and kind of what's left to go until the ball's kicked off.
Absolutely. So usually at the stadium between 7 and 7:30 for a 1 o'clock Eastern game. A lot of it is the checks that we do, rehearsals early on, going through the script, making sure everything's tight, double checking copy, all that kind of fun stuff. In about 15 minutes, I'll jump into the 90-minute meeting here. So that's always, kind of when the day really kicks off for me and gets busy, in the ramp up to kickoff. So we've got a fantastic producer, and Alessandra Lane, who, she calls the show, and I replay produce this year. So that's been a really fun transition for me and something that, we've really enjoyed kind of taking advantage of all the great technology that David was talking about earlier from a replay perspective. And that'll keep me busy through the end of the game. And then, it's on to post-game press conferences and our digital coverage and all of that. So it's a busy day, but lots of fun.
Awesome. David, on your side, less fires the better to put out on the technology side? What's your day looking like?
The goal is never to be a firefighter, right? The goal is to just sit back, relax, put your feet up, and watch the stadium and the production team do what they do best. And quite honestly, that's what most game days look like, right? We're still in at 7 or 7:30 in the morning. But by game day, we've checked everything. All the signals are where they need to be. All of our systems are running how they should be. It's a pretty quiet morning, hopefully. And we make some game day tweaks and adjustments. Right around now, I'll head out to do a walk of the whole building. Just kind of make sure we're seeing what we want to see and hearing what we want to hear. Occasionally, in the middle of the game, I'll do it again just to make sure that nothing has changed over the past 2 hours. But, sit back, watch the game unfold, watch all of our systems do what they're supposed to do, and, hopefully no fires.
Cool. Okay, last question before I have Eric. Just how proud of you are of this team, how happy you are to have fans back and have a full crew back buzzing and like it was in 2019 before the pandemic started.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, overcoming the adversity, what we've all faced in the past 2 years, everything changed, and now we had to kind of put it back together, and in some ways in a different fashion. So it's great to have our whole team back to do that. It's great to be able to be in person and talk to people face to face. So we're really excited for all of that, and quite honestly, it makes everyone's job easier when we're all here doing those jobs.
Right, terrific. Eric, same question for you. It's kind of be back buzzing. The birds are back, baby. So tell us how proud you are and how happy you are to kind of go back to somewhat a bit of a normal.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think our greatest strength here is our people. Right. So, having the staff that we have all around, everybody's kicking butt, working their tails off, doing a great job. It starts with that, starts with having, David with giving us the great tools that we have and awesome partners in our, all of our vendors that we work with. And, I think maximizing, you got the technology, you've got the ideas and the creativity, you've got everybody working really hard on it. And when it all comes together, I mean, that's what it's all about. And, psyched about just being able to, again, do it in front of an audience. And hopefully we get our first home win of the season today, fingers crossed. And, we'll go from there.
Right. Really happy for you guys to get back to what you guys do best. Thank you both for the hospitality. It's great to be back in Philly. Best of luck this year. Hope to keep in touch as always, and can't wait to see what you guys have up in store for you guys in the future.
Thanks, Kristian. Great to have you.
Appreciate it.
All right. David Sullivan, Eric Long, Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial. For more to see what these guys are up to, please head over to our website at sportsvideo.org.